If you're looking for a trusted and reliable source of news and information, check out my friends over at patriotpost.us. A link for them will be in the description box. So when you head over there and subscribe, tell them that ABL sent you. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about MS-13NBC putting out some misinformation about what they say is misinformation directed towards black voters. Now, this whole segment was totally crazy. I'm going to play a short clip of it here. If you want to see the full thing and a little bit more context, I suppose I'll link to the whole entire show, including what came on before this particular clip and after. But for right now, let's roll this clip. In this clip, you'll see this person, Shireen, I forget her last name, talking about different groups, the ADOS movement, Blexit movement, if not by name, just under an umbrella. And then you'll see a graphic come on screen that gives you a little bit more information. After we get done with that, I'll talk about what she said. I'll give you my 2 cents, my analysis, and then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
So one of the things that you talk about, both in the report, and I've spoken with you about this before, is pushing out negative information about a candidate that's been selected, to be targeted, to turn black voters against them. But it's who they're using as the voice, quote unquote, the digital voice, are supposedly also black people who are spreading that message. And here's what you write about about fake accounts that are not necessarily really black people, but who seem to be black people who are saying, hey, Kamala's a cop, or this person is bad for black people. Quote, fake accounts pretending to be black women matter, not only in the disinformation campaigns, but in every election. There has been a constant number, you write, of fake accounts posing as black women since 2013. These fake accounts, which pretend to be black women, seem to be real people with real concerns. They connect with the American black community online, attempting to learn black vernacular and key issue areas. What will be the point of creating fake accounts who appear to be black women specifically?
Because if we know, as we've seen, that the ones who are the most valuable to the Democratic Party is black women. We have identified at least 5 existing campaigns that are focused on getting black people to do only one thing, not vote for the Democrats.
And can you name one of those 5 campaigns? I mean, we put up from the report that you're saying that there's a conversation about reparations that has to do with it. There's a criminal justice conversation. Yes. There's an immigration. Go on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Reparations, immigration, reparations, immigration, and anything that has to do with the criminal justice system. So the reason that the targeting of Kamala around being a cop is important is because anything that hinges on criminal justice becomes a divisive issue.
Very quickly, we're out of time, but how can people tell the difference between the real, genuine thing of Black Lives Matter and the ones that are just designed to make you not vote? How do you even tell?
So you can tell right away by the language that they use most of the time. But if you see anyone who says basically tangibles or you're not getting our vote without us getting something back, you should start to pause and take a better look at what they're saying, better look at those accounts and seeing what they're saying.
Okay, so you saw that, you heard that. Now, this was totally crazy. Now, before I even begin, some may say, hey, ABL, that wasn't MSNBC that said that. That was a lady, Shireen. I was like, well, wait a minute. If Fox News had on a Nazi guy in a full costume talking about what he wants for his party, all this, that, and the third, you wouldn't say, oh, it's not Fox News saying it. It's the Nazi guy saying it. You would say it's Fox News saying it because they had that guy on. So MSNBC had this person on, so that means they say it. That means they're responsible for what they put on their airwaves. But for now, I'll move on. This lady was talking crazy. These people, the ADOS people, the FBA, Blexit, walk away, these are real people. Like, where do you get this whole thing about their fake accounts? You can't just label them as fake. These are real, actual, legitimate people. Many of the main people on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, I've actually met in person, or I've talked to on the phone or through a video chat or something like that. I've met Charlotte Hussar. I went to an ADOS event. I've been to a Blexit event. I know Walkaway people. I met the guy, Brandon Stropp, that runs Walkaway. These are real people that actually exist. people that have gone to the walkaway events and have spoken. I've met them. I know them. I got the phone number. Like, these are real people. Okay. I'm a real person right here talking to you. Okay. I do a YouTube video. You can't say, oh, well, you're a fake account. Well, I'm right here. Like, unless I have some kind of crazy AI program that can just create a human being that looks real and feels real to your eye, then I'm an actual real person and the video proves it. I'm not a bot. But on Twitter and places like that, it's easy for a lady like this person that came on MSNBC to call us bots. Okay. You can say, oh, that's not a real account. You're not a real person, because all you see is just a picture that could be anybody and some text. But I'm right here saying that we are real people. And quite frankly, many of the people that you see on Twitter also have personalities on YouTube and Facebook and other places where they show their face. They have events. They're doing different things. How can you say that these people that have legitimate organizations, legitimate companies, legitimate platforms are fake? It doesn't make any sense. But you know what? She's talking about, quote unquote, digital voter suppression. What she is doing in her own terms would be voter suppression. She's trying to say that any of these black groups or any group that has black folks in it, because Walkaway is not even a black group. Walkaway is inclusive. It's not just, for the black community. A lot of black folks participate in Walkaway and have given Walkaway testimony, but it's not a group that is for black people specifically, like Blexit and FBA and ADOS and whatnot. Okay, so basically she's saying that any group that does not want to be locked up with the Democratic Party, they're somehow fake, they're bots. Blacks for Trump as well. Like, we had an actual event in Atlanta where the president spoke. Okay, I have a Black Voices for Trump badge. Like, I was actually there. I got pictures with the Attorney General from Kentucky. Like, this is a real thing. How can you say it's fake? This is crazy. And this is part of the reason why you got to have Black Voices for Trump, Blexit, ADOS, and etc. It's because people like this lady, Shireen and Ann Reid, MSNBC, they'll come out and say, oh, if you are a black person and you don't support the Democrats with 100% blind loyalty at over 90%, then you're fake, you're phony, you're not real. We're going to attack you and say that you are spreading misinformation, but in reality it's us. But we have the bigger platform on television, so we'll be able to kind of drown out what you're doing. Okay, it's a concerted effort to keep black people away from the Republican Party and right there on the Democrat side. Democrats, like I've said before, they rely on the black vote at like 90 to 95%. If it goes anywhere below that, let's say it goes to 80%, which is still quite a lot, that's still, you could consider that an overwhelming majority. If it goes to 80%, the Democratic Party is pretty much toast. Definitely on a national stage, they couldn't win anymore, which is part of the reason why they're trying to import all these illegal aliens and eventually give them amnesty to become naturalized citizens, so then they be able to vote in the election and vote for them more. That's their whole thought process. They're thinking, okay, if we bring in the illegal aliens, they'll be having some kind of loyalty to us, and then they'll vote for us in elections, and we'll be able to dominate that way by changing demographics, not just by race, but also by political party affiliation. We'll indoctrinate them before they even come to the country to say that we are on your side. This whole thing going on right now with the border wall, they're trying to be against the border wall because it will give them favor with the illegal aliens. Okay, because just some years ago, people like Chuck Schumer, Barack Obama, Nancy Pelosi, they were against open borders, but now they realize, hey, we're losing numbers in the Democratic Party. Black folks, they're voting more and more for other parties and they're abstaining from elections. We got to do something to increase our numbers. So now they just switch and do something different. Okay, this is why I got to be out here talking about these black issues, because we are specifically being targeted by the mainstream media, by the left, and the mainstream media left together as a coalition. Okay, this lady was probably sent out there by some group that was funded by some other group that got ties with the Democratic Party. How do you just get funded as some kind of random group talking about I'm against violence against black women online? How do you get funded to put out a study and then go on television to express yourself right after Cory Booker who's trying to become the president. This is crazy, but hey, this is part of the reason why I'm here. This is part of the reason why these groups exist. Some may say, hey, ABL, you're engaging in identity politics. It was like, no, there's a specific need for this. There's a need for this, what I'm doing as far as talking about black issues and participating in the Blexit rally, going to an ADOS rally, going to Blacks for Trump. I have to do these things because it's needed. It's a requirement right now in society, okay? These people don't want us to leave the Democratic, what they would call it, plantation. Some may get mad at that, but look at how they treat us. That's what they want. That's how they view us. And I'm trying to break away from that whole mold. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. What say you? Do you think that these people, MSNBC, the Democratic Party, the left in general, do they want black folks to stay voting for the Democratic Party at 90-95%, and they'll do anything to make sure it happens? Even putting out misinformation about us. Oh, they're fake. They're bots. They're pretending to be black people. They're learning black vernacular. They're talking about tangibles. I mean, the most revealing piece of information was when she said that these people, their only objective is to get blacks to not vote for the Democratic Party. And the data say that black women vote for the Democratic Party over 90%. That's just what it is. So she's saying, look, black folks, we're Democrat, that's it. Anybody that tries to come against that, they're wrong, they're fake, they're a bot, and they ought to be destroyed, dealt with, maybe even have some kind of legal action brought against them, banned from Twitter, banned from Facebook, banned from Instagram, YouTube, etc. If it were the other way around, and this particular group, like the Congressional Black Caucus and many other groups, her group as well, if they were to be an advocate for black women and men voting for the Democratic Party, then there'd be no problem. They may even be celebrated as a freedom fighting group, and you're against the orange man bet Donald Trump. They'd be celebrated for that. But since that's not the case, then we're attacked. How do you feel about that? Am I just being paranoid here? Is it no real attack against black folks that are trying to do a different thing than vote for the Democratic Party in lockstep? And the funny thing is that a lot of these groups aren't necessarily in favor of voting for Donald Trump or a non-Democrat. They just want the Democratic Party to be improved. They just want their issues to be heard. And what's wrong with that? Shouldn't that be how politics operate? Or is it just you're black, vote for the Democratic Party and shut up about it? Whatever your comments are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.